The Secrets of Phala Phala, Cyril Ramaphosa's Hidden Fortune. It was a quiet morning on the Phala Phala farm, nestled in the vast landscape of Limpopo. The sun had barely risen, and a gentle breeze rustled through the golden fields. The farm, known for its high-value game and livestock, held a secret, one that could shake the foundations of South African politics. Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, sat in his farmhouse, sipping on a cup of rooibos tea. He glanced at the leather briefcase placed on the mahogany table before him. Inside, a fortune, millions of dollars in crisp, foreign currency, lay hidden. But how did it get there? And more importantly, how had it remained a secret for so long? The money arrives. The story began in early 2020 when a mysterious businessman from Sudan visited Phala Phala under the pretense of purchasing some of the farm's prized buffalo. He arrived in a sleek black SUV, escorted by two associates. They were taken to the breeding pens, where they marveled at the animals, nodding in appreciation. But the real deal was taking place behind closed doors. In a private meeting inside the farmhouse, the businessman placed a thick bundle of cash on the table. The amount was staggering, over $4 million in US dollars. Officially, it was a payment for livestock, but those present knew otherwise. This was money meant to remain out of sight, a secret stash for purposes undisclosed. The hiding place. Ramaphosa knew that banking such a large sum would raise alarms. He needed a way to hide it. That evening, he called in his most trusted farm workers, men who had been with him for years and knew the value of discretion. Under the cover of darkness, they removed the cushions from an antique leather couch in one of the farmhouse's guest rooms. There, they stuffed the cash into the hollow spaces before carefully replacing the cushions, making sure that the furniture looked undisturbed. The money was safe, for now. The cover-up. For months, the cash remained hidden, unnoticed and untouched. Meanwhile, Ramaphosa continued with his official duties, addressing the nation and fighting corruption with stern speeches. He was confident that the secret of Phala Phala would never come to light. However, trouble came knocking in June 2022. One of the farm's employees, a man named Joseph, had heard whispers about the money. Desperate for his own share, he devised a plan. One night, while the president was away in Pretoria, Joseph and a few accomplices broke into the farmhouse. They tore through the furniture, finding the cash stash exactly where it had been hidden. In the days that followed, Ramaphosa's security team discovered the theft. Panic set in. The president couldn't go to the police. How would he explain the money? Instead, he launched a quiet internal investigation, trying to track down the thieves without exposing himself. The leak. Despite his efforts, the secret was out. A former spy turned political adversary caught wind of the missing cash and leaked the story to the media. Soon, headlines screamed about millions of dollars hidden in furniture at Phala Phala. Ramaphosa denied any wrongdoing, stating that the money was a legitimate business transaction. But suspicions grew. Why hadn't the money been declared? Why was it hidden in furniture instead of being properly recorded? The aftermath. The scandal rattled South Africa, sparking calls for Ramaphosa's resignation. A parliamentary inquiry ensued, opposition parties pounced on the controversy, and the president found himself at the center of a storm. Yet, as the dust settled, the truth remained murky. The stolen money was never fully recovered, and the exact details of the transaction remained elusive. Did Ramaphosa intend to keep the money off the books for personal gain? Was he simply trying to avoid bureaucratic red tape? The answers, like the hidden dollars, remained buried in the shadows of Phala Phala. One thing was certain, no secret stays hidden forever. The conspiracy deepens. As investigators dug deeper, more inconsistencies emerged. How had the thieves known exactly where to look? Why was there no official record of the Sudanese businessman's purchase? Could there be others involved in the conspiracy? A secret whistleblower, an insider from Ramaphosa's close circle, stepped forward anonymously, providing new details. The whistleblower alleged that the Phala Phala transaction was part of a larger network of undisclosed dealings. The money, they claimed, was not just from a single livestock sale but rather accumulated over multiple transactions, funneled through the farm as a means of bypassing financial regulations. If true, this meant Ramaphosa had more hidden wealth than previously believed. Speculation grew. Were there more caches of money hidden in other properties? Some investigative journalists began linking this case to previous rumors of offshore accounts, raising questions about whether South Africa's leader had been secretly amassing fortunes beyond the public eye. The political maneuvering. As the scandal gained momentum, Ramaphosa's political adversaries seized the opportunity. Some within the ruling African National Congress, ANC, began calling for his resignation, while opposition parties demanded full transparency. Under immense pressure, Ramaphosa held a televised address, reaffirming his commitment to fighting corruption and promising to cooperate with investigators. Yet his words rang hollow to many. How could a leader who claimed integrity be entangled in such a deep controversy? Behind closed doors, factions within the ANC were strategizing. Some saw the Phala Phala scandal as the perfect chance to push for new leadership. Others worried that if Ramaphosa fell, the entire party could be implicated in deeper corruption. The global attention. The international community soon took notice. Financial watchdogs began scrutinizing South Africa's foreign transactions, and global news outlets ran exposés on the scandal. The Phala Phala affair was no longer just a national issue, it had become an international spectacle. Pressure mounted from foreign governments, particularly from investors who had placed faith in Ramaphosa's leadership. Would South Africa remain stable under his rule? Would this scandal lead to further economic decline? These were questions the world was now asking. The final reckoning. With every passing day, the walls closed in. Ramaphosa's legal team worked tirelessly to mitigate the damage, but the evidence was mounting. The parliamentary inquiry was relentless, questioning close associates and security personnel. Testimonies conflicted, deepening suspicions. Then came the ultimate twist. One of the thieves, fearing for his life, turned himself in and provided crucial information. He claimed that the heist had been orchestrated by someone high up, someone who wanted the money gone not for greed, but for leverage. The thief suggested that within Ramaphosa's inner circle, a betrayal had taken place. The president now faced his biggest challenge yet, not just proving his innocence, but also uncovering who within his own ranks had set him up. As South Africa watched, the final chapter of the Phala Phala saga was still being written. Would Ramaphosa survive the scandal, or was this the beginning of his downfall? Only time would tell, but one thing was clear. The ghosts of Phala Phala were not going to disappear anytime soon.